Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go and get into this day in weather history before we get into the actual forecast. Back in October 6, 1985, we had a tropical wave, which would later become Tropical Storm Isabel, which struck Puerto Rico. As much as 24 inches of rain fell within 24 hours and claimed about 180 lives. Now, this most recent hurricane claimed about 200 to put this in perspective, which is actually worse than Hurricane Katrina. Unfortunately, FEMA's not stepping foot in helping out our folks in Western North Carolina, so shame on them. $750 is ridiculous, but anyways, there's a lot of people helping out, so if you want to help out, here's ways that you can help out, which would be much appreciated. Vince, Brandon, Corey, and Ryan Hall's team are down there helping out, so make sure you go donate to those guys. They'll be helping out as well as many others, so definitely could be more deaths down there, unfortunately, so it's going to take a long time for Western North Carolina to get back to normal. Luckily, Elon Musk provided some Starlinks, so I hope y'all are doing well down there if you are watching this. Now, I'm sure y'all want to know if any more systems are going to be impacting us here in the near term. Well, we have some systems out there. We have Milton, we have Kirk, and we have Leslie. Let's go ahead and take a look at Milton, as that's going to be expected to impact us here in the short term. We can see Milton's expected to strengthen into a hurricane as soon as Monday morning. And then it's going to strengthen into a major hurricane as we head into Tuesday afternoon, and then make landfall as soon as Wednesday evening, potentially. Now, the timing can be off by a little bit, could make landfall earlier or later, it just depends. But we could take a look at the current track of Milton, currently tropical storm with winds of right around 40 mile an hour and a low pressure of 1,006 millibars. You can see let's be strengthening into a Category 1 hurricane tomorrow morning, and then strengthen rapidly into a Category 3 as soon as Tuesday, and then of course make landfall as soon as Wednesday evening. We take a look at the weather models. We're going to take a look at one to save time. Take a look at the HWRF model. We can see there's three systems here: Kirk, Leslie, and Milton. And there's a lot of memes going around on Milton, as Milton is going to go rogue and take his stapler back from Lumberg. Shame on Lumberg for taking Milton's stapler, by the way. We can see, as soon as this loads, turn into a hurricane by tomorrow, and then strengthen into a Category 2 as soon as Tuesday. And then, of course, intensify rapidly into a Category 3. There has been some model indications that this could turn into a Category 4, so keep this in mind. Of course, make landfall as soon as Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. Of course, the timing can be off by a little bit, of course. Keep that in mind. And make landfall over here in western Florida after y'all just got in on a major hurricane. There has been state of emergencies already issued, so be aware of this. And please know what you're going to do before this hurricane hits, of course. If you want to evacuate, please do so now. I would suggest probably no later than Tuesday. If you're staying behind, then please hunker down, of course. And if you want to know what's going on back at home, of course, the storm chasers are going to be down there, of course. Vince, Brandon, and Corey, and a whole bunch more. Now, surprisingly enough, we don't know what the storm surge is going to be just yet, but I might have a video out on Tuesday breaking this down. We can see the rainfall rates, though. It's going to be pretty extreme. A lot of flash flooding potential here. Moderate risk could be upgraded, of course. And show you all the wording again. You can see gonna be a major problem here this coming week. Now, other than Milton taking a stapler back from Lumberg, we can see Kirk out here, major hurricane right now. Expected to impact Western Europe as soon as Wednesday morning into Tuesday evening. So be aware of this if you live out by Europe, having European viewers, then be aware of Kirk. Now, Leslie, not expected that impact the lower 48 any. We can see hurricane later today. Tropical storm by Friday, but I think that's expected to recurve. Keep that in mind. As we take a look at the GFS model, we can see Kirk out here impacting Europe as soon as Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning. And of course, Milton expected to impact much of western Florida by Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. And potentially could be Wednesday evening. Timing can change between now and then. Keep that in mind. Of course, Leslie expected to recurve out there. And we can see another system move in. This cannon will change, of course, well over 200 hours out. A lot of fearmongers will show you this, of course. Don't buy into the hype. Fearmongering, they do it for clicks, of course. But if it does, it looks like that could impact Florida again. But I doubt it. Don't buy into that, as this is La La Land. Now, other than the Atlantic region, let's go and take a look at the Eastern Pacific, as we have a 40% chance in the next couple days. Next 7 days, looks like that could be a 60% chance. I'll be keeping an eye on this. I'm not going to show it today to save time, but could be impacting the Baja of California and bring a lot of heavy rainfall to much of southern Mexico, so be aware of this and go follow my X and Facebook pages up here up above. So we'll be taking a look at this here in the near term. In Central Pacific, not much going on down there, so that's some good news, y'all. And as we take a look at the sea surface temperatures, we can see that they did heat back up again after Helene moved in and wreaked a whole bunch of havoc. And once Milton moves in by Wednesday, expect sea surface temperatures to cool down drastically here in the Gulf. But here in the Southern Caribbean, I would expect some intensification if any sort of system moves into that. Why the models were showing well over 200 hours out that there could be a system moving in here, because anything that interacts with the sea surface temperatures could intensify, of course. But might not even happen, who knows, well over 200 hours out, keep that in mind. But once we move past the middle of October, it's looking like sea surface temperatures aren't going to be as favorable as we head into the middle of the month. So that's some good news, but keep in mind, if you live down here in the Gulf Coast and down here by Florida and the Caribbean Islands, hurricane season lasts all the way into November 30th, so please be aware of that. Now, other than tropical storms and hurricanes, take a look at what we could expect here in the lower 48 for the next couple of weeks. If we get past Milton, it's supposed to be making landfall by Wednesday, and once that moves out, expect some dry conditions here amongst much of the lower 48. Could be dealing with some snow showers and rain showers up in the northwest, and we could be dealing with some snow showers and some heavy rain up here in the northeast, but really pretty dry amongst much of the lower 48 as we head into the middle parts of October. But watch as we head into the end of October, we could be coming in on a cold front, which could cause some severe weather down here in Dixie Alley. We are in our second severe weather season. Keep that in mind if you live down there, by the way. And this could cause some severe weather amongst the East Coast and cause some winter weather conditions over here by Missouri. Now, well over 200 hours out. Keep this in mind, like I keep saying. Can and will change, might not even happen, but if it does, it looks like we could be coming in on some major problems amongst the eastern half of the country as we head into the end of October. So that's pretty interesting, y'all. But as we take a look at the U.S. hazards for the next 8 to 14 days, from the 12th through the 18th, expect dry conditions amongst much of the central half of the country, but flooding could be occurring down here by Florida, mainly due to Milton moving through. Take a look at the precipitation outlook for the next 6 to 10 days from the 11th through the 15th. Much below average precipitation expected for much of the country, except for down here by Florida. Same story as we head into the next 8 to 14 days, although at the end of the month we could come in on some soggy conditions over here in the eastern half of the country, which could result in some severe weather down here down south and the East Coast, and could result in some snow showers and a winter storm potentially in Missouri. So I'll be letting y'all know if this does verify on X and Facebook, of course. Go follow those pages if you haven't done so already. Now, I'm sure y'all want to know what our temperatures going to look like as we're in basically the I don't know what to wear kind of season. Well, wing is here today. We're going to be pretty cool amongst much lower 48. Pretty hot down there down south, though. I mean, cooling down again, warming up, cooling down, warming up again drastically. But then watch as we head into the middle parts of the month. We're still going to be relatively warm for this time of year, but we can see we're going to start to cool down drastically here by October 11th amongst the eastern half of the country, parts of the northwest, but the central part of the country is still going to be relatively warm. Now, as we head into the end of the month, we can see a drastic change as that cold front's going to start to roll through, and it's going to drop those temperatures down drastically. Very frigid air by the end of the month. So keep in mind, we're basically in the I don't know what to wear kind of season, as we're going to go from the 70s one day, then back into the 60s, then into the 40s, and then back into the 70s. So basically sick weather, basically is what this is. Keep that in mind. So we take a look at our temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center. We can see that much of lower 48 is going to be well above average. Of course, this is valid from October 11th to the 15th, the middle of the month. Down here in the southeast, could be dealing with some below average temperatures due to Milton moving in. Next 8 to 14 days, really much the same, although much of the eastern half of the country is going to be near normal. And as y'all did see, we could be coming in on some really chilly air at the end of the month, so prepare for that as we are entering the I don't know what to wear kind of season, as well as flu season, so be aware of that. Notice a lot of people getting sick, unfortunately, so that sucks for anybody's getting sick out there now. And as we take a look at the 500 millibar height on the map, this is basically the troughs and ridges. Ridges are usually associated with the good weather, and the troughs are usually associated with the bad weather. So we push into the middle of the month after Milton moves through. We can see that there's going to be a major trough in store at the eastern part of the country. We could drop those temperatures down drastically, but then we're going to come back into a little bit of a warm up and drying pattern, of course, as a major ridge is going to start to lock in here at the middle parts of the month. But watch as we head into the end of the month, as we could have another trough occur out east and a major ridge amongst the central part of the country, and then a trough up here in the northwest. And then as we head into the end of the month, we have a little bit of a signal, which could mean that we could have some pretty extreme weather here at the end of the month. Keyword there is could, well over 200 hours out. This will change between now and then. Fearmongers will show you this kind of stuff on social media to get clicks and all that sort of nonsense, so don't buy into that, as this will obviously change. But if this holds true, could come in on some major severe weather on the front side of this system, some snowstorms on the backside, and some really chilly air over here in the Ohio Valley by October 19th. So definitely keep that in mind. I'll keep an eye on that, of course. But mainly what I'm trying to get at now is basically prepare for what could be some very dry conditions here in the short term amongst the southwest up in the northeast. And prepare for some rain and snow showers up here in the northwest. And prepare for Milton down here in Florida as we head into the middle part of this coming week. Now, other than the weather, let's go ahead and take a look at our fall foliage map. We can see where there's more color here on the map up here in the Mountain West. Peak fall foliage here at the Williams Weather headquarters. We got some fall foliage here. I'll put up our fall foliage that we are seeing here at the Williams Weather headquarters. As you can see, we're getting some color here. Although I'm thinking those leaves are just going to fall right on off. I don't think much color is going to be expected like we had last year, but still got some color out there. If you want to send any colors, send it over to my X and Facebook pages up above here. I'll have links down in the description down below as well. Go check those out. Looks like we have some peak fall foliage up here in the northeast as well. As we head into this week, expect some more peak foliage amongst much of the lower 48. Much of the southern half of the country is going to be getting in on some fall foliage, so that's some good news. It's getting exciting, y'all. Spooky season is upon us. As we can see, Halloween countdown 24 days away from now, so get excited, y'all. And of course, I know I keep talking about the birdcast, but y'all seem to like it, so we're going to take a look at it. Got 500 million birds predicted to move out tonight, even less tomorrow night, and of course Tuesday night, a lot less because we got Milton moving in by Wednesday, so keep in mind of that if you live down there by Florida. Take a look at the state of Indiana. We can see 89,600 birds moved out last night, a lot less than what we've had recently. And we can see the Swainson's thrush bird. It's a pretty neat looking bird. Did fill up the bird feeders here, but I haven't saw that bird yet, so that is the main bird that has moved out. Hope you all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share buttons for more folks informed about the weather. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because at Here Wins Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below. It's feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. So basically, to sum up this video, watch out for Milton down there in the state of Florida, as state of emergencies have already been issued. Make that plan, of course, if you are going to be evacuating, do it now. But if you are staying behind, then please make a plan of what you're going to do when this hurricane comes for you. And other than that, there's really not much in the way of any tropical storms or hurricanes that are going to be affecting us after that. There is going to be a lot of runs showing that there will be, but keep in mind, nothing has formed down there yet. There's one expected by October 18th, but this will change, of course. Don't buy into the fear-mongering or hype or anything like that. And watch out in Europe. If you have any European viewers, watch out for Kirk. Could be making landfall by Wednesday morning as a tropical storm, so be aware of that, of course. As far as the forecast goes in the lower 48, looking like we could head into a drying pattern as we head into the middle of the month, but then as we head in towards the end of the month, I would expect some activity to pick up as our second severe weather season is going to be upon us. So be aware of this if you live down there in Dixie Alley, and be aware that some snowfall could be occurring over by Missouri, but this will change, obviously, of course. If you have any fall foliage you want to send my way, please do so. For any weather pictures, send it over to my X and Facebook pages. I would greatly appreciate that. And I do have my winter outlook video up if you want to go check that out, what we could expect this upcoming winter season. I do have links in the description down below for that. Go check it out. This upcoming winter season could surprise us. So again, hope everybody liked today's forecast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for watching. Have a great day. And until next time, never stop forecasting.